Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with the best of Sting. Here we are. This is a DVD release that came out a couple of years ago. Of course, everybody is really hot, and everybody's getting ready for the future Sting release coming out on Tuesday with a full-on documentary. Honestly, that is about the only knock that I could give this Blu-ray DVD release that came out after Sting's debut in WWE. Of course, you know, Sting was the one holdout from WCW that people wanted to see for so long. And they got to the point where he had a good long TNA run when I was saying, Sting, I want you to come to WWE. I want you to have a match with Undertaker. I want you to go into the Hall of Fame. And I want your DVD release. And those are the only three things that I need for you. But honestly, looking back, hindsight now, after Sting coming in, doing the angle with Triple H, with involving himself in the Survivor Series, the match before the Royal Rumble, him having the match at WrestleMania 31, and then him having a main event match against Seth Rollins, I can easily say that Sting still is an asset to the WWE, and still is a big piece of professional wrestling in 2015. So here we are with the best of Sting. We still haven't got that Undertaker match yet, just want to say that, but a very ripped Sting. I don't know if this was taken by WWE or if this is used from his WCW days. I can't really tell from the picture, but open this bad boy up. The Blu-ray is a 2-disc release. It is a greatest hits, so this is basically what would be known as a 3-disc DVD with a whole bunch of matches. No documentary. Of course, the documentary will be featured on the Tuesday release coming out. Of course, you have the black and white Scorpion there, and then you have the wolf black and red Scorpion on this disc as well. I'm not the biggest fan of releases where it's like, talk for a minute, match, talk for a minute, match, talk for a minute, match. That's the release that this is coming up with, but you start out with some debut matches from UWF. You got the Blade Runners there, then you got him coming into NWA, Southern Pro Wrestling, teaming up with Rick Steiner. You've got Sting versus Flair, Sting versus Stan Lane, Sting versus Butch Reed, Sting versus Mike Rotundo, Sting versus Ron Simmons, Sting versus the Great Muta. Honestly, the Great Muta feud of 1989 is what put Sting on my radar as a wrestling fan. I remember seeing pictures of these two wrestling in a lot of wrestling magazines when my dad would be going through the checkout and I would go over and look at the magazine rack. And that's when Sting first got put on my radar. Sting versus Flair. This is the Great American Bash, 1990. Sting versus Dutch Mantel. Sting versus Nikita Koloff. Sting and Muta versus Steiner Brothers. Sting versus Vader in a, I was about to say a booty match, but in a bounty match. Then we have Sting and Wyndham and Steamboat versus Dustin Rhodes and the Dangerous Alliance. Sting versus DDP. Sting versus Barry Windham. Talking about the face paint. Then we go into some worldwide. Sting versus Stunning Steve Austin. Sting versus Flair is a viewer's choice match in 95. Sting versus Arn Anderson. Sting and Macho Man versus the Nasty Boys. Then we go into the Crow, where Sting becomes a free agent on WCW Nitro. Sting versus Hogan at Starrcade 97. Macho Man versus, hold on, can't really read it because it's in the crack. Sting and Luger versus Hulk and Macho Man. I got some oh, you gotta go up to this way, I apologize. Sting versus Nash. Sting versus Scott Steiner. Sting and Kevin Nash versus Harlem Heat. Sting and Warrior versus Bret Hart and Hollywood Hogan. Sting versus Bret Hart is where mysteriously Sting's WCW and his wrestling career would end. But you go into the exclusives. They don't give you that match. I thought they were gonna. They always stick that Sting versus Flair last WCW match on there. Blu-ray exclusives. You got Sting and Wyndham versus Arn and Tully. I can't read that one. Sting, PWI, most popular wrestler. Sting's adversaries. Sting and the Four Horsemen. Gordon Solie, J.R. visits Sting in the hospital. The RoboCop vignette, that's pretty big in Sting's career. Wrap up on Sting winning the World Championship. Sting is World Champion. The Danger Zone versus Sting. Sting versus Vader. Sting and Hogan versus the Bruise Brothers. Sting and Luger in the production truck in '96. Sting joins the Wolfpack. Sting and Luger versus the British Bulldog and the Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And Sting's final promo in WCW. I haven't seen that one in a long time. You see that match a lot. You don't see the promo, so there's a lot of stuff on the back. There's Sting up there in the rafters looking down on everybody. Against an army of shadows lies the Dark Warrior, the purveyor of good with a voice of silence and a mission of justice. This is Sting. This is the picture that caused a lot of controversy when the DVD was released. I guess that's not Sting. That's NWO Sting, and somebody messed up. Newer releases has a different picture of Sting on the background right there. But there's Sting and Booker, Sting and Hogan. There's Sting back in the Surfer days doing the big old woo into the air. Revolutionary clashes with Ric Flair for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Battles against WCW stars such as DDP, Vader, Nikita Koloff, the Steiner Brothers, and the Nasty Boys. His ongoing quest to eradicate the land of the NWO and all betrayers to his cause. Features and vignettes paying tribute to the enigmatic persona and accomplishment. Rare pre-WCW matches featuring the Ultimate Warrior. The Stinger Splash, Scorpion Deathlock, ominous entrances, ghostly face paints, and everything else you love about Sting, finally unleashed from the archives. Blu-ray exclusives, plus much, much more. Disc made in Mexico. That's it right there. The best of Sting. This is the best you got until Tuesday when the new release comes out.